All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Chicago Bears in tonight's video. Training camp is here. Practice is in a couple of days. Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, they just signed to their rookie contracts. Now, Caleb Williams, rightfully so, honestly, is going to get all the attention. He's literally going to get all the attention from the media in training camp, and rightfully so, because he has the opportunity to shift this franchise around completely. They haven't had a quarterback prospect like this before. The first overall selection, Caleb Williams, is going to be extremely good, but there are also a couple of things that are going to fly under the radar from here until the regular season that, Chicago Bears fans are keeping an eye on. So we're going to talk about that in tonight's video because there's a bunch of rookies, and by rookies, obviously Caleb and Rome, I think they're both going to be pretty special in their own rights, but Austin Booker's really interesting to me. I want to talk about Tyler Scott. I want to talk about the Chicago Bears, some things that are probably going to fly under the radar outside of Bears niche fans in today's video. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily Bears content along with daily NFL videos. If we try and get this video to 250 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So there was a ESPN article where they talked with executives, scouts, coaches to rank their top 10 off-ball linebackers. This is just a random information. And this is kind of the whole point. The Bears are, like, if you believe in the Bears, you think they'll win probably 9 games. And I'm not talking Bears fans, by the way. If you're a media member or an outsider of the Chicago Bears fan base and you think Caleb Williams will be good, you're probably saying they'll win 9 football games. But there are a lot of people that are saying the Bears are going to be a 4, 5, 6 win football team. And what a lot of people don't understand about Chicago and Matt Eberflus is their defense was the best scoring defense in the second half last season. Their defense has talent all over the place. And the craziest part is it's mostly young guys. So here the list was: Fred Warner. Actually, I'll just sum it up for you. Mr. Tremaine Edmonds came in number 7th, and then honorable mentions, of course, TJ Edwards was on that list. The Chicago Bears have one of the best linebacker rooms in the National Football League, one of the best linebacker rooms in the NFL. They have one of the best, I know this is mainly on paper because we haven't seen Keenan Allen play for the Bears yet, and we haven't seen Rome take a snap in the NFL, but they have one of the best wide receiver rooms in the NFL. While it is a little bit young and we're hoping that dudes like Tyreek Stevenson can just turn into a star because we saw plenty of flashes of it last season, me personally, I think the Bears have one of the best secondary rooms in the National Football League. So, no, Caleb Williams can come out of the gate and suffer, and he can struggle. And as long as he's not throwing like 3 interceptions every single football game, even if he sucks in his rookie season, the Chicago Bears are still going to be a relevant, competitive team. So the main question, and I got this tidbit here from Chris Wienski, I think it was with NBC Sport, or no, it was Fox Chicago. The main question right now is, how will Caleb Williams look in full contact? So, teammates were literally in awe of Caleb Williams at OTAs and rookie minicamp. But the thing is, you're not playing with pads, right? One of the dudes, Caleb, was going up, and this is what's so funny about it too, is Caleb Williams is going up against one of the best defenses in the NFL, and it's just funny because people don't know the Chicago Bears have one of the best defenses in the NFL. People freaking out about the defensive line. We'll talk about that in just one second. By the way, Montez Sweat's still a Chicago Bear, so at least they have a freaking star edge rusher. But the main question is, going up in pads, well, guys, he's throwing in practice to one of the best defenses in the NFL. So, friendly reminder, all-pro cornerback Jaylen Johnson is a member of the cornerback room, and he went on the Herd this past week, and he said about Caleb Williams, as advertised, special, something I've never seen. Now, Jaylen Johnson's young. He's around my age, so we've only seen a couple of things, but the point is, if he looks how he did in OTAs, if he translates that with pads on, you'll see it immediately in preseason. You'll see it immediately in the regular season. But that's just one thing to keep an eye on is, and it's not like Caleb had perfect days every day at OTAs and minicamp, but he's going up against one of the best defenses in the league in practice. Practice, folks. So speaking about that defense, here was another excerpt from that article. Will the defensive line be up to the task? Right now, the Bears have Montez Sweat and a handful of question marks. Justin Jones has departed, so how will Trevon Dexter Sr. and the fair as the Bears' 3 technique, can DeMarcus Walker be productive enough opposite Sweat as a pass rusher? In the same vein, can rookie Austin Booker earn some snaps as a situational pass rusher and take advantage of those opportunities? Can Andrew Billings hold up next to Dexter Sr. with Jones no longer in the fold? Can 2023 third-round pick Zach Pickens earn more snaps? These are questions that will be answered in live action, specifically with preseason games. We'll get a better picture of what the rotation will look like in training camp, but the defensive line is a central part of Eberflus's defense. So, Chicago had some money to spend. They had very limited draft capital, right? Only a handful of picks, and outside of the 2 first-round picks, really wasn't anything there. Austin Booker was one of those. All right. And I think this is important because you look at the defensive line, and we just mentioned a bunch of them, Montez Sweat, Andrew Billings, Trevon Dexter Sr., DeMarcus Walker, and then your backups are guys like Jacob Martin from the Colts that they just picked up, Zach Pickens last year, third round pick from the University of South Carolina. But Austin Booker is really fascinating to me because I actually think he'll take over I think he'll beat DeMarcus Walker's job at some point in the season. Now, DeMarcus is interesting because he actually had a really down year statistical last year for the Bears, but he's usually just really solid. Nothing special, but nothing poor. DeMarcus Walker, I can rely on for like 6 minimum sacks this upcoming season, hopefully. But when we take a look at Austin Booker, the rookie out of Kansas, last year, played in 12 games for Kansas in the Big 12. He had 40 total tackles. 12 of those were for a loss, and 8 of those were for sacks. He even had a pass deflection. He had 2 forced fumbles. Austin Booker's just been flying under the radar in every scheme, everywhere I've looked, whether it was the draft, post-draft, or right now. Austin Booker's just flown under the radar. But I just want to say this, we know the defensive line, like we just said, is very important in Eberflus's system. Well, the rest of the defense is freaking set. New addition, Kevin Byard. You got Jaylen Johnson, Jaquan Brisker, Tyreek Stevenson, Kyler Gordon. I've got TJ Edwards. I got Tremaine Edmonds. I've still got Montez freaking Sweat. I think if the Bears were if Poles was that concerned with the defense, if Eberflus was that concerned with the defense, I do think they would have made some type of move to negate that. I do just want to say it also wouldn't surprise me. I think Austin Booker is going to be a stud in the NFL, but I mean, we can never even count out a midseason trade for a dude not necessarily like Montez Sweat, but if it's that bad, I think Ryan Poles will hop on that. But anyways, we're talking about the freaking trade deadline, and we have yet to even really begin training camp practice. So that's it for me. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily Bears content. One guy I did want to talk about a little bit was Tyler Scott, because one of these dudes will miss a game or two, whether it's DJ Moore, Rome, or Keenan, and you're gonna need guys like Tyler Scott or Velus Jones Jr. to just step up to the opportunity. But we'll talk about that in our next video. So hit that like button, hit that sub button. Let me know. Let's go outside of Caleb Williams. What are you most excited? Who are you most excited to see training camp preseason? Let me know down below. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you soon.